most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Alright guys, back again. I'm gonna do this trolling motor. Well, this is my 55 pound thrust 12 volt Newport Vessels trolling motor. It's new. It's only got a few miles on it. It's a nice little motor. I put the tri-blade on there. And but last time I tested this specific battery, I used that trolling motor. I got at about 25 minutes, it was barely moving the water. So basically this battery is shot. What I did is I went on, this is not in any way an advertisement, but I got a bunch of stuff here that I got from Temu. If you haven't heard of Temu, it's like a Chinese products website, kind of like a budget Walmart, Amazon really. But you got pretty good stuff so far from my tests. Like this thing right here is a battery charger, but it also has like a repair feature. I get paid about 15 bucks for this. There's got a cord. I wasn't really expecting much. This thing's great. It's got a lot of settings. You got AGMs, you can do lead acid, can do lithium with it, but what's cool about it, has a repair feature, desulfating they call it. So I ran the repair cycle on this battery like 4 or 5 times. A little bit of the water and acid came out because it gets it hot, but it I'm thinking maybe it did something. So what I did, after I ran like 4 repair cycles and 2 charge cycles on this thing, I hooked it up to my solar panel, my 100-watt panel in the backyard, and I just let it charge for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks it was on there, since that last test basically. And so I just let it stay fully charged, and then I ran 2 more desulfating cycles, and here we are for the test. But the way we're going to do the test, this says we're at 12.4, so not technically a super full battery. So 12.4 volts. This is also a product from Temu. It's supposedly a battery monitor. All the other ones I've tried, they don't really do real-time monitoring, so we're going to test this out. So far so good. See, we're not at full bars. We're at 12.4 volts, 25C. Supposedly we're at 73%. So there's a percent gauge, which is really nifty. And we're going to try that out in this test. We'll see how it goes. So let's just fire it up and I'll take down the time. Alright, so I took down the time. Not that that matters, but we're just going to fire it up here. Speed 1, speed 2, speed 3, roll all the way to 5, let's get 4. So this thing's really rocking and rolling. Looks like it's got more power than last time. We're screwing that water up, but let's come down to the gauge, real-time gauge. And it's kind of, the load on it's doing what I expected, but let's just let this run and we'll come back and check in 25 minutes. Yeah, we're just gonna let that rock and roll. We'll be back in 25 minutes. Alright, it's been the 25 minutes. Still pretty vigorous, not like when we started, but that's more than last time at 25 minutes for sure. It's still probably going to run about another 15 minutes with enough power to move the boat. So this battery is shot, but it definitely it came up a little bit. It improved from the repair cycles and the charge thing. So there's definitely a benefit to this charger. So let's just throw it on the charger, see where it's at. Alright, so to show you the other project I've been up to. It's this old electric scooter, which is really interesting. It's just a, well, it's really rare. They only made, like, I guess I did some research on this. They made 250 of them. It was a generator company. They were going out of business. So they took some of their generator motors. And they made these scooters. They're kind of nifty. They fold up. So this handlebar folds down. The seat can fold down. Seat's super comfortable, spring seat. There's no suspension, but it's just got drum brakes. But I think it's fun to ride. Now, when I first got it, it was set up for 24 volts. I got it at a trade from a buddy for basically $100 into it. So it didn't have batteries, but it had this big beefy motor, which I found out is a 10 kilowatt generator motor. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. So it can run a lot of power. So it was set up at 24 volts, 350 watt controller. So this was all wired up. This it had a key, little battery meter, and a built-in charger that you could just plug in. And so yeah, I've tried various 12 volt batteries, and it will go about 9 miles an hour, but it's super torquey. I think it felt like I wanted to pop a wheelie. Just would only go 9 miles an hour. And rode it everywhere. I used to actually hook up a little tow behind bike. So when my son was really little, I'd hook it up to the back on that bracket there, and I would tow him all around, and he would pedal, and I would pull him all around the city here, and we had a blast on this thing. So anyway, one day I went to change this headlight out, and the headlight actually burned out. So and then there was like a spark when I was putting the new bulb in, and it fried the circuitry out in here, and I could never get it squared away. So I just basically I put it away. I forgot about it for a couple years up in storage. And then now I got it down, and I had this 48 volt electric bike battery from other projects, and it's a 20 amp hour. It's not the best battery. It's probably only about 80% capacity, but it works perfect for this. Fits right in the battery tray there. And then what I did is I got a controller for like, I think $15. It's 1,000 watt 48 volt controller. So instead of 350 24, and it's definitely way faster. So now it really wants to try to pop a wheelie. I did add this. I had to add a new throttle because the old one didn't made up with that box. And so I've still got the old electronics, but that's really what runs it. And anyway, long story short, this thing goes like 24 miles an hour with me on it. It goes 0 to 24 in probably 3 seconds, maybe 4. So it's pretty quick. And so the way it works is just direct drive with a belt. A large belt drive there. But yeah, it gets right up to 24. But then I let my son ride it. He's probably about 100 pounds, and he was able to go 30 miles an hour. And I actually raced him on my electric bike here. This is a 1500 watt hub motor, 1500 watt controller there, just a 13 amp hour battery. But yeah, I was racing him, and he just dusted me. And not only acceleration with me pedaling and electric motor, he dusted me in acceleration and top speed. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, that's not really what I came to talk to you about. I was going to show you a really cool thing. It's these lights right here. They're from Temu. I'll show you one up close here. Just want to do not really a review, but if you have a bike, you need these. And this is what you order. It's like a carabiner on top here. Got a seatbelt cutter. There's the light. The back has a super strong magnet. You can adjust it so you can set it up, you know, like a platform, and aim the light. Underneath this is I don't know if you can see it, but it's a cigarette lighter. So you basically just hold this button down, the lights come on, you glow in there. It's a cigarette lighter. And light your, I don't really smoke, but it's just good to have a nice little handy fire starter if you're a survivalist. You got a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver there. Like I said, an ultra strong magnet right here. It's a bottle opener on the bottom. The screwdriver goes in the top there so you can use it. But the best feature is this is an ultra bright light. As you can see, it's super bright. That's the one setting. You go down to low. That's low. Now this is like natural light, super bright, just like before. It's a different kind of light color. And then you can go down to a low setting of that. And then you got a red light, super bright red light, and a blinking red light. It's ultra bright there. So yeah, you just clip it on. So I clipped this one on in the back there, so I turned it on a blinking red light. I clipped this one on the front, and I got an ultra bright headlight. And all my lighting needs are taken care of. I even got a screwdriver on the run. And super cool for any bike. You can literally, I use this light on all my bikes. So I've used it on this one. My son, I strap it on the back here. You can see this tie, and it actually lights up the Mongoose. I put it on the front here on the wires, and he's got a ultra bright headlight. I've used it on my dirt bike here, my Enduro, for lights, you know, just ripping around. And yeah, so it'd be useful for any of these bikes. I just thought I'd tell you about it. They're like $6 each on Temu. Yeah, so if you want to get something like that. But let's come back over to the battery project. So this charger, when you don't have it plugged in, you just hook it to the battery, it'll tell you the voltage. So we went from 12.4 to 11.5. We used not even a volt out of this battery, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so let's just, maybe we can, now let's just plug it in. We'll just plug it in and let it charge. Even though it's shot, I still haven't given up on it. So there's the desulfating process there. And we'll let that do that. It goes through that motions, and then it'll tell you the voltage it's at and what percentage of charge. This thing here, the voltage regulator that I was talking about, let's just hook that up, and we'll come back to that here in a second. So I'll hook that up really quick. So yeah, I think I paid like $5 for this. Well worth it. So after that test, we're jumping between 11.6, 11.7, 44%. That is pretty nifty that works like that. So I'm pretty happy about that. We're going to mount one of those on my boat, so I have not really a real-time monitor, but a pretty accurate assessment of what I got left on my battery capacity. Alright, just wanted to show you that. So let's just hook the charger, and I'll show you what it looks like charging. Alright, back here charging. Just tell you a little bit about this charger again. It's 9.38 amps is what we're charging at, so about 100 watts is going into that battery. And then 26C and 14.2 volts is where it's charging it at. And yeah, that's what it's doing. It's getting her down, charging it up. When it gets full, it'll shut off. But yeah, the other mode I was telling you about, the repair mode, you put it on that, it'll just run indefinitely on that. It'll just get hot. It does some kind of desulfating, but every time you also charge, it'll do the desulfating process for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes before. There's 7 stages supposedly to the charging. So, oh, here, I just noticed something. You can do the, peel this stuff off. That's fine, brand new. But yeah, then you got motorcycle battery, wet cells, which are like the nickel. It says it can do nickel iron batteries, those types of batteries. AGM gel, and then standard. That's what the little diagram of the stages of charging. So yeah, that was the $15. I was going to get one, the old styles, but I just thought I'd gamble on this, and I'm pretty happy I did, because it definitely recovered quite a bit of power into this battery that was otherwise trash. So it's not trash anymore, it's actually useful. I was going to use it, come over here to this project. So I've got an inverter, it's just a cheap Harbor Freight 2000. I've seen these 2000 continuous, or 2000 surge 1000 continuous. I can hook it to that battery or that battery. And then what I use it for, I have this hoist that I used to have in my garage ceiling. I use it for pulling motors. Used to use it on my old job to stretch fences. I've used this thing for many years. It's actually pretty powerful. It's a plug-in, so hence the inverter. It doesn't go right to 12 volt like most of them. Because it's a hoist, it's not a winch. But that's what I'm going to use it for. I just put this rope on here. I'm going to build a little mount on my trailer, and then I'll be able to winch my boat onto the trailer when I'm at the launch. Make it a little easier, because I could do it by hand, but the more stuff I'm adding into the boat, the harder that's becoming. And last time I struggled pretty good. I was embarrassed. So yeah, we're going to just winch it on from now on. I just thought I'd show you that. And anyway, I think I've gone on long enough rambling. Glad you could join me. Leave a comment. I always respond. And I hope to see you back here again in the future. Thanks.